I'm most proud of the big-scale transformation that the city is undergoing at the moment. We have really in the last 10 years made some major changes to the city that I think will give a permanent mark to how the city how the city is seen, both from the citizens themselves, but also from people from the outside. The starting point for the transformation was a discussion about a big four-lane road that was made some 50 years ago, at the time where you thought that cars were the answers to everything, and they tore down a lot of the buildings in the historical city center and replaced it with a four-lane road. And ever since it was opened, the discussion was, how do we heal the city again? And 10 years ago, we made the decision that we simply need to remove the road and build a new part of the city center where the road used to be. We started with this road because I think this was a scar that needed to be healed for the city. But a part of that decision was also to build a tramway, a light rail in the city that goes on this now closed street, but also connects the different parts of the city in order for us to have a high-class public transport. We have experienced that no matter what we did, enhancing the buses, making them cheaper, it was difficult to get the citizens to leave their car at home. But we have seen from a lot of other places that tramway does the trick. So we have decided to do that, and we are right in the process of building the tramway system, which will open in 2020. The way that we're dealing with the sustainable urban mobility planning in Odense, we both have the focus on the hard measures, the light rail, closing on the street, enhancing other streets, building new bridges and building supercycle highways and so on. But we also have a focus on the soft measures. We actually just yesterday in the City Council we passed a new mobility plan with I think 50 different measures and most of them soft measures on what we can do. And we've had a tradition, for example, to teach the young people in school in the early years, but also in kindergarten, to ride their bikes, and the teachers take them on excursions on their bikes. They have summer schools focusing on bikes, but also to deal with people in jobs, to help them find I would say a better way to travel than to use their car, but make them aware that the public transport can do this. If they use their bike, they can do this, and so on. I, as a politician, has been very much involved with the mobility planning in Odense, and that goes, I mean, right from the idea until we pass the bill, so to say, in the City Council, but also afterwards, because some of the things that we decide may not be that all the public they are thrilled about it. For instance, at the moment when we are building the tramway system, a lot of the citizens are very much against it, because they feel that we take the space where they used to drive with their cars. So as a politician, you have to stand up and you have to defend your decisions, but you also have to explain why in a period we need to do this in order to have a better mobility in the city in the future. I don't think that you can say in Odense that the media is either for or against. In some of the projects, we might feel as politicians that they were more against the project, but As I see it, they're very focused on the result, but they're also focused that the process is the right one. No matter if, as a politician, you can sit and be very upset about the angle that the media chooses, I think you should always react with a serious reaction, and I mean, take the questions that the media ask, take them serious, because I think in the end the media are interested in getting the truth forward, and so are we as politicians. So we are not each other's opposites or each other's enemies. It's actually quite interesting, because if you look at the big projects that we have made regarding to mobility, the closing of the street, the light rail system, the mobility plans, we have always had a unanimous decision in the city council. I'm a conservative, my friends social democrats, liberals, former communist, everybody was in favor. But we have seen with some of the projects that some parties, they withdrew their support because of the public outcry against some of the projects. So I think it takes political courage to stand up for the decisions you have taken, and that you stand by your beliefs and are ready also when the going gets tough to stand up for it. In that term, you cannot really say that there is an opposition when we made the decisions, but afterwards, yeah, there were. At the moment, it's difficult to see what the next challenges will be. We experience at the moment, not just in Odense or Denmark, but I think in the whole world, we experience that the development of technological things are happening so rapidly. So what is the challenge today may not be the challenge in a few years. But I think what is important is that we are agile. So we at all the time that we look at the situation that we have and are ready to respond to that. When we passed the new mobility plan in the city council, everybody was in favor, and it's a catalogue with a lot of ideas. I think maybe in the prioritization of these different measures, I think that we could run into opposition to them, but I think the most important thing is that we at all the time see what is the best at this time, and then we use that measure at that given time. What has been really important for Odense when we have worked with mobility is that we have it in a strategic plan, that we go up in the elevator, so to say, and have a look at the whole city, and have a look at the goal that we want to achieve with it, and then use the time to make the right plan. Good planning that beats everything.